Hello again, and welcome to the latest bulletin from Haverhill UK News, brought to you by Haverhill TV. In the news for today, Friday, June the 21st, councillors are annoyed to discover passenger information boards were secretly axed from Haverhill bus station plans 3 years ago. Haverhill's northwest bypass appears on a long list of transport improvements in Norfolk and Suffolk, which are to be prioritised after public consultation. And business people have heard how Suffolk is bucking a national trend of people dropping away from sport after the Olympics. A real-time passenger information board promised as part of the improvements to Haverhill bus station was scrapped by Suffolk County Council 3 years ago without even Haverhill councillors being told. Newly elected Councillor Tony Brown has been pestering the council to reply to his query about what had happened to the RTPI, and he's finally received an answer. He said it looked like they cancelled the system but forgot to tell us. But he said it wasn't over yet, as he had asked for the minutes of the meeting when it was decided and who decided to cancel the RTPI for Haverhill. Councillor Brown received a response from the council to say that RTPI had been due to be rolled out across the West Suffolk area in 2010 on the basis that many of the buses that travel into the towns there also travel outside of them, so any system needed to be able to operate in rural and urban areas. Unfortunately, the response continues, this was one of the projects that had to be stopped in 2010 because of cuts to the departmental capital budget that year. RTPI is being rolled out in Ipswich and not in Haverhill because the Ipswich bus station scheme is £18.5 million worth of major scheme capital funding that Suffolk County Council had to bid to the Department of Transport for in 2009-10 and is part of measures to make sustainable travel within Ipswich easier with the aim of reducing traffic congestion. Councillor Brown said he and his fellow Haverhill councillors were very angry. He said it just showed how little they thought of Haverhill. It was no problem for Suffolk County Council to go to the Department of Transport to get a grant of £18 million for upgrading Ipswich's bus system, but they would not put the same effort in for a few £1,000s for Haverhill RTPI, let alone a guided busway or light railway. Norfolk and Suffolk local transport body is today asking stakeholders to comment on what major transport schemes they think should be considered for funding across Norfolk and Suffolk. The LTB, as it's called, is likely to receive around £39 million of funding direct from government over the years 2015 to 19 for that spending period for schemes costing more than £2 million. And it has published a long list of schemes which includes Haverhill's North Western Relief Road. This long list is being used by the LTB as a starting point to identify the transport projects to which the funding should be directed. The LTB is inviting stakeholders, including local councils, business, environmental and transport organisations and MPs, to comment on the list and suggest any additional large transport schemes. All schemes on the list, plus any suggested by stakeholders, will be formally assessed by the LTB, and it will then submit a prioritised spending programme to government by the end of July. Subject to approval by government, this prioritised list of schemes would comprise the major transport scheme spending programme across the two counties for the years 2015 to 19. The Haverhill North West Relief Road would run from the Meadowlands roundabout to the A143 around the Fox, formerly the Rising Sun, pub. Until now, it has been assumed this would only be built when developers of the earmarked new housing there forked out for it. The closing date for comments on this long list is July the 12th. Tourism bosses in Suffolk have awarded Visit East Anglia, or VEA, a 2-year contract to promote Suffolk as an exciting holiday destination. VEA will take on a key role in driving up visitor numbers and increasing tourist spend, which currently stands at £1.75 billion a year from June 2013 to March 2015. And finally, town business people heard yesterday about how last year's Olympics might benefit Suffolk, including boosts to tourism. Adam Baker from Suffolk County Council was the guest speaker at the Best of Haverhill's monthly meeting and talked about how the so-called Olympic legacy was coming along. He revealed that Sport England had reported a drop of 220,000 people taking part in sporting activity between October and April. But in Suffolk, the trend was being bucked because participation had increased 2.4% during that time. He outlined ways in which the County Council, in partnership, was taking forward its aim to become the most active county in the country. As for the wider effect on the economy, he said it was hard to quantify. Many foreign journalists had visited the county and taken away their favourable impressions to report, so tourism might well benefit. And businesses had won £12 million of games-related business up until March 2012. But since then, there were no figures available because there were confidentiality requirements which had not yet been relaxed. And now we welcome a new face to Haverhill TV, our weather girl, Abby. She'll be bringing you our regular updates from now on, so take it away, Abby.
Thank you, David. Hello, and here is the local weather forecast for the next few days. Saturday and Sunday is expected to be mainly cloudy with occasional rain. Daytime temperatures hovering around 16 degrees, dropping to around 10 degrees during the night. Monday will be mainly cloudy with sunny spells. Temperatures very similar to that of the weekend. Tuesday will be very much like the weekend, with the daytime temperatures around 16 degrees, dropping to around 6 degrees during the night. Back to you, David.
Thank you, Abby. That's all for today, but join us again on Tuesday and keep in touch anytime by going to www.haverhilluk.co.uk, and don't forget my weekly Heart of the Matter video blog tomorrow.